All right, what's going on, Pickleball Nation? This is Scott Golden, the Golden Boy. Listen, I know I am probably just flooding your live stream Facebook pages with these interviews. However, with the quarantine going on right now, and it's going on, I think, almost a month now that I haven't been able to be out on a pickleball court playing and commentating and doing all the stuff that I love doing. Outside of that, for me, the next best thing is doing interviews with pro players, Q&A sessions with junior pickleball players, which we got a special treat for you today because this interview, or this Q&A session is what we're calling it, is going to be with my first ever junior pickleball player, Gavin Meyers. And I'm going to let him tell you a lot about himself and kind of why we're doing this. I'll tell you guys this. We've got a mutual friend in a girl named Kim, and she said, "Hey, Scott, there's a kid named Gavin who lives in Asia, in the Middle East for most of the year, and said he really loves pickleball, and it would be cool if you just did like a quick little video to say hello to him, just kind of, reach out to him or whatever. I think he'd really like that." So I said, "Sure, absolutely." So I did this quick video. I sent it to Kim. She sends it over to Gavin. And then next thing I know, I'm getting a friend request from Gavin. So I'm like, all right, cool. This is Gavin. And then he was like, "Hey, man, like, I'd really love to meet you and talk to you someday." And I was like, I tell you what, why don't we do one better? Why don't we just go ahead and do a live session with you so that we can just talk about pickleball? I can find out a little about you. You can find out a little bit about me. And of course, in Golden Boy fashion, I love to do all this stuff live for the viewers that love pickleball and honestly probably have not a lot else going on right now outside of pickleball stuff that they can watch. So, all right. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Gavin Meyers on with me, and here we go. What's up, Gavin?
Hey.
How's it going, buddy? So listen, you are in a place called Oman. Is that right? OMAN?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that, man. First of all, where is that?
Oman is in the Middle East and Asia, and it's near Yemen, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. Well, those are the border countries, and we're also by Iran, Pakistan, Bahrain, India, Qatar, Kuwait.
Wow.
All
so
around that area.
I think it's safe to say you're a good bit away from the United States of America. That sounds like you're on the other side of the world.
Yeah. It's about 24-hour flight.
Oh my goodness.
To the US.
Wow. Are there layovers with that, or do you just fly straight 24 hours through the
We stop in Dammam in Saudi Arabia, and then we go to Amsterdam, and then we go to Detroit, and then Grand Rapids.
Wow, that's insane. So my very first question outside of where is Oman is, what time is it there where you are right now?
9 o'clock at night currently. 9:01.
So we're about a 8-hour difference in time, is that right?
Yeah.
Literally a full workday difference in time. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like when you were texting me at certain times, it was like 2:30 in the morning my time or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was weird because that's how I knew there was a big time difference. And then the follow-up part of this question is this where you live full time?
10 months out of the year. We come back for 2 months in June, July, and early August in the summer.
And so what do you call home in the United States? Where is that? The city and state?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Grand Rapids. Okay. Is that anywhere near DJ Howard? I know DJ Howard lives in that area. He's a pro pickleball player.
I follow him, but I don't know.
Okay. I think he is. I think he's somewhere in that Grand Rapids area. Hey, my buddy Eden Lika, who's the other sponsored Monarch player, he left a comment that says Salam Meku. Let me throw that up there. What does that mean?
Salam alaikum. It means it means peace be with you in Arabic.
So peace be with you. So Eden, who is from Romania, is very versed in culture and different languages. So thanks, Eden, for throwing that up there for us. I love it. So peace be with you, my friend. And let's see. Bruce said, "Greetings, Golden Boy." Jim Fisher said, "Let's go." He wants to hear about your interview here. And then Jim Fisher said, "Hi, Scott." So those are some of the comments so far. Okay, so let's talk pickleball real quick. Well, first of all, let's back up. How old are you, Gavin?
I'm 14.
14 years old. And how long ago did you find pickleball? Or like I like to say, when did pickleball find you?
Last summer.
Last summer. So what was your experience with finding pickleball? How did that come about?
So in 2018, we got a summer home at Sandy Pines in Michigan, and they have a bunch of pickleball courts there, and I thought it was fun, and it looked fun, and I wanted to try it. And so last summer, we got paddles from our grandparents for Christmas and birthday money. And then ever since I got them, I've been playing for like 10 to 12 hours a day.
But who was the first to introduce you? I mean, did your dad find the sport first, or your mom, or your brother or sister, or who did?
I mean, I just found it on my own, and other people taught me how to play.
Were
And
you
my
like
dad-
were you riding your bicycle past the courts one day or something in Sandy Pines? I mean,
Yeah.
really? I just asked.
It's near like main pool and rec center area, and I watched people there playing, and it looked fun.
Very cool. Did you come from any other kind of sports background? Baseball, basketball, football, anything like that?
I used to play baseball when I was really young before, and now at school here I play soccer, and I used to do swimming, and now I started volleyball and basketball.
So in Oman, where you live 10 months out of the year, do you go to school, or are you homeschooled? Like, how does that work?
There is our school is called TASM, the American International School of Muscat, and it is 67 different nationalities, and it's American-based curriculum.
Okay, so you would be learning just like any 14-year-old kid in the United States, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. And do they have sports there that you play? Is that where you participate, or is it private clubs and stuff that you have to be a part of?
They have private clubs, but I do the school stuff.
Okay, very cool. And I think it's important to tell everybody that's watching why you live 10 months out of the year in Oman. Is that in regards to your dad's profession?
Yeah, so my dad runs this interfaith peace center here to bring peace between different religions.
How long, Gavin, has that been going on? How long has he been coming over to a place like Oman
We've
to
lived here this is our 7th year here.
My goodness, that's a long time. So he's got a lot of time invested in that area.
Yeah.
Very cool. And from what I understood from talking to Kim a little bit about your situation there, is that there are no pickleball courts, temporary or dedicated. Is that right?
No, there isn't.
So what I would like to find out is, what can we do to change that, right? Like, how can you and me and your dad team up and get some type of pickleball courts going there? I think that would be such a cool experience to try to see something start up in a place that doesn't have pickleball.
I don't know. I hope it does happen. I've always thought of when I grow up building my own pickleball courts here and introducing it, but I don't think that'll happen.
Well, you never know. We might look into some options. Sometimes churches have like an area that they don't use that much, or that they don't mind, putting some tape down, or really a pickleball court. I think the beautiful thing about pickleball is that it's relatively inexpensive to get involved with. And, you buy a paddle, a pickleball, a pair of shoes, and if you can find a temporary net, you can pretty much play anywhere as long as you've got some room.
Yeah.
So we'll look into it. I'll follow up with your dad maybe and see if we can get something going. Also, the paddle that you use. Show everybody the paddle that you use. And by the way, this is not scripted. So the paddle he's going to show you is the paddle that he has.
This is
All
the
right.
Monarch paddle.
Boom. Do you see which one? I know what paddle that is, but I want to see if you can tell everybody what that is.
I don't know.
It should say it. It should say it on there. It should say the Mercenary, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Mercenary. So that's actually a pretty cool paddle. It's got a aluminum core, so it's a little bit different core than the polypropylene. But the aluminum core is a great core to have to play pickleball, except that it's more expensive, right, than the polypropylene. So all the manufacturers now are going to more of a honeycomb based core because it's cheaper to manufacture. So that's
I didn't buy it. One of the people that I play with, he gave it to me because we bought wooden paddles, and they said if you keep coming here, you gotta get a better paddle, and so he just gave me the paddle and a couple of Dura balls.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I will say this also. I was thinking about this just because you were such a good sport and willing to come on and do a live interview for the first time. I would like to somehow get you a Golden Axe paddle, my signature paddle. I just don't exactly know how we can get it to you yet because I know Manish Rao, who lives in Mumbai, India, just to the east of you. I got him a Golden Axe. He has it in Mumbai, India with him now. However, I had to ship it to his friend in New York who was flying out of New York City to fly to Mumbai. So that's how he was able to get it. I don't know if we can ship it directly to you. It's possible.
My dad comes back.
We have groups coming here. My dad goes back to the U.S. Usually twice a year in Michigan, so we can probably get it to Michigan, then he can bring it back.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll coordinate off camera. We'll coordinate with your dad to get the paddle to him when he comes to the States. So whenever that happens, you guys just let me know and we'll make that happen. That way you can have a Golden Axe to play with. Okay.
Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. And then tell us about the famous wall that you have, because since you don't have any courts, I saw a quick video of it offline.
Yeah.
Talk about that and what you did so that you can at least still practice.
So since we don't have any courts here and I really miss it, I decided why not just clear space in my room and put a tape line for the net and put a kitchen line on the grounds, and I've been just hitting balls on the wall. And then now, since we're quarantined, we cleared up a spot upstairs for family workouts and spike ball and stuff, and I just made a new one up there because it's more space.
And how often do you pick up the paddle and the pickleball and hit at the wall? I mean, let's say in a day, how many hours in a day do you do that usually?
Usually about 2 hours after school, sometimes maybe 1, depending.
Okay, so pretty much, but you're doing this pretty much every day, practicing against the wall?
Yeah.
All right, so I want to be the first to go on record and say that Gavin's going to be coming on the scene like a tornado when he comes back to the States because he's practicing every day. Don't let Gavin sneak up on you guys. If he plays a tournament, he might sneak up and beat you guys since he's practicing. But all right, so Gavin, look, here's our next question from one of our viewers. Andre Paul says, Gavin, which players inspire you / do you look up to? So I think he's talking about anybody that you think about with pickleball. It doesn't have to be necessarily be a pro player.
I look up to the people that helped me at Cindy Pines in the first place, but also when I watch, I also I watch a bunch of Simone Jardim. I watch Lucy Kovalova. I watched you. I watch David Weinbach. I watch a lot of people.
That's awesome. Do you usually watch the YouTube stuff, or do you see videos on Facebook?
Mostly YouTube.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, YouTube's a great resource, even for somebody across the country, literally across the world. You can watch YouTube videos of some of the top pros and the people that you look up to and admire. If you were gonna pick a pro player to model your pickleball game after, who would you want to model it after? I'll give you some names: Dave Weinbach, Kyle Yates, Ben John, Simone Jardim, Lucy Kovalova, Irina Tereshchenko. There's so many different
Probably
ones.
Kareem.
Okay, and for what reason? What makes her come to mind for you as far as that? As far as why you would want to?
I like her style of play, and I also like that she taught. She was the tennis coach at Michigan State, and I love Michigan State.
Yeah, I think that was pretty evident when I saw your Facebook page. You've got Michigan State
Yeah,
logos
I have
everywhere.
the shirt on.
Absolutely, you do. Without question, you've got that on. I love it. Yeah, so she was the women's college coach, D1 coach at Michigan State for many years, and then she eventually, I don't know if you even know this, but she found pickleball, and then she actually got Catherine Parenteau, or Parenteau, however you want to say it. Catherine's a pro player that played under Simone at Michigan State for tennis.
Mhm.
And she got her started in pickleball, and then she's gotten a couple other people. I think I think it was Joey Farias and a couple others. So that's pretty cool that she did that. All right, so Lorna Rose is the next statement or question here. She says, "I have been to Sandy Pines during the summer. Perfect place for sports, boating, golf, mini trails. I will have to revisit for pickleball." So she didn't really ask a question. She was just making a statement about how great Sandy Pines is. So that's pretty cool.
There's a lot of people here that at Sandy Pines that play, and we have a whole Facebook page and stuff, and we always play every morning.
So that's in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure people weren't confused that that's not in Oman.
No.
Okay. All right. So Jim Ackerman says, "Hi, Scott and Gavin. Stay safe and healthy, and nice paddle." So he's saying that he likes your paddle there. So great job on that comment. Thanks so much, Jim. And Lorna said, "Excellent young man." So she's just complimenting you. So all right. So let's talk about again. What your goals are with pickleball. Do you have any pickleball goals? I mean, are you wanting to play a tournament eventually? Kind of talk about that and what your goals are.
Yeah, I would want to play a few tournaments this summer. I'm at Sandy Pines. They have these different tournaments, and so I'm probably going to do the July 4th tournament if we do come.
Yeah. Okay, very cool.
Summer because the airport's closed here.
Yeah, and I was talking to you and your dad before we went live. The reason for the airport being closed is similar to what we're dealing with, which is they're trying to keep the virus from spreading even in Oman, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. If you do get to come back to the States, what level would you think that you would play in a tournament? Would you say 3-0, 3-5, 4-0? I mean, where do you think you fit?
They don't really do levels at Sandy Pines. They mostly do by age group.
Gotcha. Okay, so age group. Okay. And then in the video that you sent me of you dinking it up against the wall, it looked like you were a left-handed player. Are you a lefty, or is that the video that was flipped around?
That was the video, I think, that was flipped around. I usually play right hand.
Okay, because that had me confused. I was like, I don't know if he's right-handed or left-handed, because sometimes if you flip the camera in reverse, like if you do the reverse screen, it will look like you're a left-handed player. But I thought, man, he's talented if he's not lefty. But no, that's cool, man. So is there any questions that you've got for me? I mean, because I've got to go I got about 15, 20 more minutes before I have to get off this. But any questions you got for me or anybody out there right now?
I'm wondering, how long have you played pickleball, and like what level are you?
Okay, that's a great question, Gavin. I started playing pickleball for the very first time in October of 2016. I stumbled on it at the park. There was a guy that was hitting pickleballs with a pickleball machine. It's a pickleball tutor machine, actually. And being the nosy person that I am, I asked him, hey, what are you doing over there? And so he basically, said, hey, come on over and I'll show you. He put a paddle in my hand that night. And I think over the next 72 hours, I played 70 hours of the next 72 hours. I was just somebody that fell in love with the sport right away. And I knew pretty quick I could be good at playing. And in March of 2017, I actually entered my first pickleball tournament in Nashville, Tennessee. And Don Stanley was the tournament director for that. And I didn't know exactly how good I was or where I should play. So I signed up for 3.5, and I actually won gold in 3.5 men's singles. I won gold in 3.5 mixed doubles. And I think I thought I won gold in the men's 3.5 doubles, but I might have gotten silver that first tournament. So either way, I medaled in all of the things. So I quickly jumped up to 4.0 after that. And I haven't looked back, and it's been a little over 3 years now. And I'm playing at the 5.0 and above level. Mostly play 5.0. I would say I'm kind of in that range. I'm not a pro player just yet, but I'm not a 4.5 either, right? I would consider myself kind of in that middle ground. So I've played some pro events and haven't won anything, but have had some good battles with Aspen Kern, Rob Cassidy, Kyle Yates, Ben Johns. Actually, at the Texas Open, me and my partner Shelton were up 8-7 against Ben Johns and his brother Colin. So he may not even remember that, but I got it on film. So so I definitely do. But yeah, that's it.
Also, how do you get ranked? Is there like a test thing that you have to do? Is it like certain skills to rank up?
It's a great question. Great question. So there are a couple different ways to get rated. The one way is that you self-rate. Okay, so if you self-rate, you just go onto the usapa.org, and you can pay $20 for a year for a membership with the USAPA, and then you would self-rate. If you're going to enter into a tournament for the first time, you would say, all right, well, I don't know exactly where I fit, so I'm just going to start out at 3.0 or 3.5 or wherever you feel like you would fit. And then if you want to take it a step further, you actually can get rated by a ratings certified ratings instructor. So somebody like myself or like DJ Howard or somebody in the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, you can go and you can take a test. The IPTPA, which is the International Pickleball, IPTPA, International Pickleball Training Certificate or something. I don't know. IPTPA stands for something. And they can actually give you a test, a skills test to get rated. So that's how that would work.
Okay.
Cool. And then I got a question for you and your family. Number one, do you have any siblings, or are you the only child?
Yeah, I have a younger brother.
And how old is your younger brother?
He is 11.
Okay, and does he play?
Not as much as me, but he will play.
Okay. And then what about anybody else in your family? Does your dad play? Does your mom play? Does, anybody else in your family play?
I mean, we all play, but I probably play the most.
You get grandpa hooked on it too, right?
And
Grandpa?
I got my mom's dad hooked on it now too, and I'm gonna this summer teach my dad's parents how to play.
Very cool. That's awesome. And they live in Michigan, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. And then as far as Kim, how did you figure out that Kim liked pickleball or knew how to play pickleball? Like, how did you find that out?
Oh, she's been posting on Facebook all the time, and my grandma told me about her being sponsored by Head.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, she just recently got a sponsorship with Head, and that's through, I believe, Sarah Amsbury, probably her connection with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I know the first time I met Kim was in Naples at the tournament in February or January or February, where it was the first time I met her. And she had come over from the East Coast of Florida and was playing in a tournament. Actually, believe it or not, she wasn't actually playing that tournament. She just wanted to come over and watch some friends. But she was cool. She was hanging out and just enjoying pickleball for the weekend. So that was pretty cool there. But all right. So anything else? I mean, any other things you want to say? Do you want to tell anybody anything while you're live? I mean, you've got some people watching. I know some people posted about, can they watch this later? So if you want to give them a shout out.
Not really.
Keep working for peace.
Okay. I think you might have froze up just briefly here. Hang on 1 second. All right. I think I lost Gavin there.
Huh.
Gavin, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It froze up for just a second. I'm not sure what happened there, but okay. So I was just asking if you wanted to give anybody on camera a shout out right now while you're live.
Just play a lot of pickleball and use the empty wall like I've been doing, and it helps.
That's awesome. Awesome. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, buddy. Well, that's all I've got for you, man. I think that you had a great Q&A session with me here. I think people need to write your name down and know that you're going to be coming for them someday in a tournament, probably. But yeah, man, just keep working at it. Keep working on your game. I think practicing is a great part of this sport, but ultimately the most fun is when you get out on the court with 3 other people and you get to play pickleball with people that you enjoy. And so keep on going, man. I think it's cool that you're going over overseas with your family to be a part of what your dad's doing. And actually, real quick before we go, if Dad wants to jump up here on the screen, I want to introduce Dad to everybody. If he can just pop up here real quick. What's going on, Mr. Meyers? What's your first name?
Justin.
You said Justin?
Justin, yeah.
Justin. Hey, all right, Justin. So while I've got you real quick, I thought, while I'm live and we're doing this thing live, talk real quick about your ministry and what your purpose of that is and why for the last 7 years you've spent time in Oman.
Yeah, I mean, what I do is the legacy of our 127 years of our church being here in Oman. We started with education and medical. And for the last 30 years or so, we've been focusing more on interfaith dialogue and mutual understanding between Muslims and Christians in particular, but people of religions all over. And so we do a lot with bringing graduate students, college kids here from the United States to study Islam and Arab culture. I'm a Christian minister, and I work with the government here, and so we do educational things for people here about what Christianity is. We work and all sorts of things, just making sure that we know each other, because there are so many misconceptions that people have about each other. I meet people here and they said, "You're not what I thought a Christian or an American would be like." And we bring our American students and friends here and they're like, "Oh, Omanis are not like what we thought Muslims would be like," because awesome. Omanis, they're some of the most peaceful, hospitable, loving people in the world, and they're nothing like what you would see on TV. And so a lot of what we do is break stereotypes.
For sure. And that's kind of why I wanted you to talk about it and bring this subject up while I had you guys live, because there's so much confusion and misconception about what the media might portray or how people might be in a different country that we're not familiar with per se. And me personally, I don't know if you guys don't even know this, but I've been on several mission trips outside of the U.S. I've been to Belize 3 times. We built churches and just ministered to people in other parts of the world that aren't as fortunate. And my dad's an associate pastor at a church in Alabama, and my mom's the children's minister, and they have been for many, many years, been serving the Lord. So I don't talk about that a whole lot on camera. I try to keep my pickleball stuff separate, but I think this is a great time to just kind of say thank you to people like you and your family who are willing to not just uproot yourself, but man, you took your whole family over there and have for 7 years and spend 10 months out of the year serving other people and trying to break those barriers and those misconceptions. I'm very, very excited to hear that you guys are doing that. And there's people like yourself that are so selfless in what you do. So,
well, thank you. Yeah, no, it's our pleasure to be here. We love being here, and we hope you're here for many more years to come. And yeah, we just know there's a lot of work to do in this peace building and reconciliation work, and that it's what we think God wants us to do is to reconcile with other people and to live in the peace that He promises the world. So
that's incredible, incredible. I love it, guys. I absolutely think that is such an amazing thing.
Thanks for taking this time to talk with Gavin and for the paddle and the tips and stuff like that. I know he misses it, and it's one of the things that we're really lamenting is the fact that we might not be able to get back to our family and friends in the U.S. this summer and have Gavin play pickleball while I fundraise and stuff. So yeah, keep us all. And I just, everybody, I think in the world right now, we're all in this together too. So what you're all going through in Michigan, we're going through here in Oman, and I know our Indian friends, their families are going through it in India and Pakistan. So this really is a global phenomenon, and we're all in this together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I hope it ends sooner than later. But right now we're just kind of, waiting it out and seeing how this all unfolds. But I'm thankful for families like you guys that are out there on the front lines and that are breaking down those barriers, like I said. And stay safe, stay healthy, guys. And I want to tell you one other thing. Reach out, Gavin, reach out on Facebook Messenger to my good friend and amazing pickleball ambassador, Manish Rao. It's Manish Raw is his last name. Manish Rao. He lives just to the east of you guys in Mumbai, India. And he's one of the main guys responsible for the growth of pickleball in Mumbai, India. So if you ever get a chance to go over there, they have a dedicated court right there at their office, I think where they work. And they play every single day when it's not raining.
Wow.
But yeah, reach out to him and just pick his brain. He's a guy that you might could get in touch with, and maybe he can, he might can send you some stuff. And you never know. You never know what kind of connections that might be. So
I've been trying to get my dad to build a court at his office.
We'll work on him. We'll work on him. But well, guys, thanks so much. We're gonna wrap this interview up, and man, just again, thank you for taking your time, Gavin, to come on the show. And you now have the distinct pleasure of being the first ever junior pickleball player to do an interview and a Q&A session on Golden Boy Pickleball. So that's something nobody else can take away from you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, my man. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this thing down. Gavin, again, thanks for your time. And you guys, everybody wave to him and his dad, and we'll see you guys later. All right, guys, that is Gavin Meyers, the first junior pickleball player that I've ever interviewed. That was fun. He was very friendly, very kind, spoke very well. Obviously, he's raised in a very good family, and just appreciate their time that they took away to do this. So if Gavin's still watching, Gavin, keep on hustling, keep on working, and someday we're going to see you on the big stage, buddy. All right, guys, you guys take care. Everybody watching, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.